Hello, hello, hello. I want to make a 100% positive video today. I don't want negativity in it. I do way too much negativity because there's so much negativity in the world, and there's so much negativity that I'm reminded of with almost any kind of subject. So this video, I just want to make positive. I'm mixing two flops together because they both have evaporated water out and have now reduced themselves in condensed themselves into about 50%. So they both fit into this one. I put a little bit water in it, and I'm hoping that it will help to somehow mix them together. Now it is very liquid, kind of like a frog pond. A frog pond. So I don't know, maybe this will even take some time to mix. I don't know. Maybe it cannot mix unless it gets heated. I'm not so sure. So, but I will try. Anyway, I want to make a review today because I'm in heaven with my perfume oils. I want to compare the two candies, the two candy imitations, two different candy imitations from two different perfumers and two different vendors, two different companies altogether. So the one is, this one here is Worldwide Perfume Oils. That is clearly their own interpretation and version. I have not even smelled the original actual designer perfume. I know Prada because I had a Prada, I think it was Prada 1 that someone gave me one time for Christmas in Germany. That was so sweet, and he paid so much money. He paid like $200. And it had that old-fashioned ball on it, and in the airplane almost all of it evaporated because of the of the very high pressure that was in the air. So, and everyone around me was like, where's this coming from? So I love Prada, and I ordered myself Prada once, so in the perfume roller as well, because the original one all evaporated. And that's also, you know, it's like, what a waste. Let's not work with alcohol and any of these volatile ingredients. Why not work with heavy stuff, with oil that doesn't evaporate, that stays on you? For example, you know, this morning I smelled on my dog, and I was amazed to smell the Escada perfume from like 3-4 days ago, you know, that had gotten on him from my wrists and stuff through petting him. It is still in his coat. So that's how strong these and how long lasting these perfume oils are. So this version from Worldwide Perfume Oils, it is incredibly rounded, it smells very natural. It smells so complex and so rounded and so warm and soft, yet powerful. Almost like smelling a flower. Like the complexity and the roundedness, almost like smelling a flower or your hot chocolate. So, and it stays on for a long time, and in during the evaporation process, it reveals more notes that might have been overshadowed a little bit in the beginning by the top notes that have, or the middle notes that have evaporated out a little bit, and then what leaves it behind are the base notes always. Every perfume has these three layers of top notes, middle notes, and base notes. And the base notes, I would say chocolate, at least the the imitation molecule of that what smells like chocolate. That should be a base note. I'm just guessing, but I think that's the base note. And frankincense, I think, is also a base note, and all the amber tones or the resinous ones are definitely base notes. The oud is base note. I don't know if they put oud in it. I don't think. I don't know. So there's definitely violet in it, not as strong as in the Violet Blonde from Tom Ford. That Tom Ford's Violet Blonde has the most violet I have smelled so far in any kind of perfume composition. And violet and a little bit chocolate. Violet and chocolate is an amazing combination. They have that in here too, but the violet is, they put much less violet in it. Chocolate content, I would say maybe it's about the same as the Violet Blonde. The latest editions, they have a lot more chocolate in it, and caramel and vanilla. The ones made in the 2000s range, they have more gourmands. Because people really like that, particularly the younger generation. They really have a thing for that, and I always had a thing for that my whole life. So when a long time ago they had, when I was in my 20s, they had this, they had just come out, they opened up stores where people for all of these things, candle making, essences, and all the ingredients that we need to make our own products. So they had an actual store where I was living in Germany, and I went in there, and I was like a kid in a candy store, and I always got myself those gourmand perfume fragrance oils like chocolate and cinnamon and vanilla, all of those delicious ones. Got all of that. I hope that these two here mix. I don't know if they will. I don't know if they're made of out of the same material. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But this is sure nice. I don't know if they mix. They might not. Oh my gosh, thunder coming up now. Oh my gosh. Might not mix. That's okay. Two different types of putties, I guess. They'll mix. But it makes a nice, relaxing video. Papa, come to me. No, they don't mix. That's okay. make me two putty video for the two versions of candy. I have to move this up a little bit. It's getting dark outside and I'm wearing my own fashion that I made. Made this sweater myself. You can put something in here. It's very nice. It is composed of many different pieces actually. And I love it, and it comes over my hips. It's really nice. Like this here. Maybe I can show from afar. So, it's nice. I like it. It's very cozy. And I got my orange fish on, which is my own jewelry. I've always dreamed about Wobble Monster jewelry, always wanted to do this. This is not my own sculpture. I got that at the Dollar Tree store, but it makes a this is a toy for children, but it makes a nice necklace. I love it. And I have several others in different colors. So these are obviously not compatible. They don't mix at all. Strange. It must be made out of different things. That is strange, is that? I wonder what kind of chemicals they use for each one. This is the one that is more opaque. This is the one that is not opaque. They're both amazing. I just love it, the way they feel. I have always loved those kind of things my whole life. So, okay, so I want to explain what's in this, what I smell. Definitely chocolate, caramel, vanilla. Maybe cotton candy, marshmallow, something like that. I smell a little bit violet. Smell cherry blossom. I already talked about this before in another video. But then I realized a couple of more fragrances that may have been put in. And I realized it when I smelled this one, which I had recently gotten. This one is also Prada candy from a different perfumer and a different company, a different vendor. So this one is Quality Fragrance Oils. And they answered my question today. She said that they are cruelty free. So they don't contain cruelty, which is great. And that they contain dipropylene glycol, which is almost in all of those. It's a very cheap oil, but it is safe. It is completely non-toxic. It's mild on the skin. And it is very heat and cold resistant. So it creates great stability. So that's also another reason why they use it. There are several reasons why they use DPG as a carrier oil. So, and she said they don't add any colors to it. So other than the colors that may have been added or stuff that may have been added in the real highly concentrated solutions that they bought from the chemists. So, and I saw a review yesterday by someone there by like an ultra mega super wholesaler. I think they actually make these. He even had the powder there, fragrance powder. So he said the actual powder, the actual totally uncut version, as they always say, their perfume oils are uncut. The actual uncut, that means undiluted fragrance molecule, is a powder. You can't even use that like this. If you put that on the skin, it will burn. So it's just way, way, way too strong of a molecule. So, but once it becomes very, very stretched and diluted with a carrier oil, then it is fully safe. It's totally non-toxic. It's just when it's in a the concentrated molecule, that would be also like putting that would be equal to putting on a very strong concentration or an absolute from a very, very strong plant. Like there are some plants that when you put that on the skin in a concentrated formulation, just coming out of an extraction method, then it will be way too strong for the skin and it will cause an allergic reaction. So which plant can I think of right now that would cause that allergic reaction? Um, Maybe some citrus, if it's like in totally concentrated form, it will probably cause a redness or something. So, and the same with the designer fragrances, when they are uncut, it would cause an allergic reaction because it's just way too strong. So, but in the diluted form, diluted in DPG oil, then it's completely safe. And it would also be too powerful as a scent if it is too concentrated. So some perfume makers, some of the perfume oil makers make them a little bit more concentrated than others. So I already saw a difference in that. Sweet Essentials, their oils are much, much more stretched. I would say they're stretched by more than 50% from the concentration that you get from worldwide perfume oils or quality fragrance oils. From these, this is quality fragrance oils. This is worldwide perfume oils, and they're both amazing. But the way I detected frankincense is through this one here. So because I think they put a little bit more, a drop more frankincense into it. Frankincense, the imitation of frankincense molecules. So that's why this smells a little bit stronger, more like hairspray, has a hairspray element in it. Like the old-fashioned hairsprays, from the 70s. And this one smells more gourmand. This one has a little bit more chocolate than that one. So that's just a slight variation. This one lasts longer. It lasts long too, but not as long as this one. They're both amazing. They're slightly different. Yeah, and I also detected carnation in it. Carnation is a flower that has a very, very strong scent. I love that scent. And they put very little of it in it, of course, because carnation would be very overpowering. But that adds to the powder. Powder, they say powder because the great grandmothers, they had these face powders, like my grandmother, for example, who also was much older than I am, because my dad could already be my grandfather. So, and then my grandmother could be almost my great grandmother or great grandmother, like age wise. So our my family line, I come from family lines where they all had children after 30. So, and where the men were even older. So my grandmother, and I have really good memories about her. Very amazing. My grandmother, she used to look like that actress from England that played in the Titanic, that played the beautiful princess in the Titanic. Man, what's her name? I'm not that much into Hollywood, so I didn't watch the Titanic either. I just read about it. I heard about it. I saw some reviews on YouTube. I don't spend any money on films. I mean, very rarely. I would very I bought one time. I bought two films that were very highly recommended. That was Al Gore's documentary film and the movie Idiocracy. So that was a long time ago. We still had video recorder. We were actually bought these cassettes and all. That's all. We don't have that stuff anymore. I don't want it anymore. And I get to see sometimes movies for free on the internet. So I'm not that much into it. That's why I would never even get any kind of subscription to those Hollywood movie websites and all of that. So I'm not that much into it, where I would actually spend money on it. I spend money on classical music for my cloud music player for Amazon, and I spend money on ebooks. So, and movies, well, I watched some movie reviews. But yeah, those were the only two movies that I also thought were very good and very educational also. But Titanic, no, it's not interested. So I saw some clips on YouTube of it where it was flooding, and it was very depressing. It's a very depressing film, I think, extremely depressing and painful. So no, not for me. But yeah, my grandmother used to look like her, very much so. Body and face. I guess there is a little notch of Hungarian in it, and I don't know, English, different things. It could be a little bit Turkish in it, I don't know. There could be a little bit Armenian in it. Would be interesting to compare the DNA between her and mine, so to see if we were probably related. So this scent is absolutely prize winner. As I said before, it's delicious, and I love both. Really love both versions. This is more hairspray, and I like it too. This is because it's more frankincense. About the same amount of chocolate, but more frankincense. This has more caramel in it. This has more frankincense. So that, I think that's about the difference. That's what the difference is. That's all good. These here are just a notch more expensive. You know, if you calculate it up in the end, how each perfume oil costs, you know, if you add the shipping costs to it. So, and also the amount of it, you know, how much this is. I got this one in 1 ounce roll on, and this one in a 1/3 ounce roll on. Also smell beeswax in it too. In this version here, it's very interesting. And this version here reminds me a whole lot of the Russian cow candy. They have when I was a child, they had these cow candies that came from Russia that were caramels, but very chewy, not the tooth filling pulling one, you know, like a very, very creamy, chewy, that would melt in your mouth. Delicious, delicious. And they had a painted cow, a real beautifully painted cow on that candy wrapper. And I think they were called something like that, like cow candy or something. But it didn't contain cows. But it contained, obviously, it contained dairy products. It contained cream and the butter and stuff like that. And it was caramelized. It was most likely was white sugar and very unhealthy and all of this. But it didn't have all of these terrible preservatives in it and additives and artificial colors. So that was, and they tasted very good, very, very gourmet. I'll never forget those. They were my favorites. And this perfume, this version reminds me of that very much. I smell the hairspray, the frankincense in this one now too a little bit. Cherry blossom, violet, chocolate, caramel, frankincense. It's a nice combination. Cherry blossom, violet, and chocolate. Oh, it's incredible. So I'm so crazy about these, also those single notes that I got myself, a couple of more single notes. So including chocolate and different cakes and stuff like that. I'm completely crazy about it. I also got cherry blossom and single notes. Very good. And I got, what was the other one? Got honeysuckle, and I got hyacinth. Oh, amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I got tulip. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make a review about that by itself. So that reminds me so much of my grandmother. And so, okay, that brings me to it. That's what I thought I smelled in this one. After I smelled the tulip by itself, and I got that one from a different company. and they advertised it on Amazon as an essential oil from the plant. They advertised it as an absolute. It's extremely strong. It comes in 1/8 of an ounce, which is a real small bottle, but about the size like this, and it costs over $30. So I thought, I'm taking a great risk. It's, a lot of money if spent for a fake one, but I took that risk, and it may be just a fake one. I don't know. I can't imagine that this is real. But if that is a real one, if this is a real absolute oil, then I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't smell that fake. Paul also said it doesn't smell fake. But if that was real, I think it would cost more than that. It would cost at least $60. So, but I know, one never knows. But if this is fake, then it's a very, very concentrated and a very high quality imitation molecule. So, but either way, I like it. It reminds me of my grandmother. It reminds me of her powder. So, and that's what I detected in this then. After I smelled that individually, then my brain was like, okay, now I registered how that smells. It becomes a unit, sort of, your neuronal connections. They create a mental representation of it. So it becomes a unit in the brain, a unit association. And then you smell a whole bouquet again, like this. And then you might be able to detect it out of this. So, and I thought I did. I thought I detected it. I thought I detected the tulip oil in the tulip fragrance in Prada candy also. So that's just a few more single notes for me to add to this as detecting, in my detecting work, detective work. So I might find some more associations later on, but I don't know. But that's just what I see and what I smell so far. And it's very, very nice. It's just, this is a world that I can live in, and that I can work with, that I'm totally at home with this kind of world. And when I go to Jeremy's perfume reviews, I see these comments of men that will say, Jeremy, you make me spend a lot of money. And then Jeremy, I think he sells perfume oils also, and then they raised their prices because their popularity had gone up. But lucky for me, I don't have to buy his perfume oils. I buy them from the imitation companies, so for a fraction of the price. And so I went on this one website that was from someone else that has that website, another guy that makes perfume reports. I'm gonna have to unsubscribe from him because I uploaded one of my YouTube videos there, one of my reviews on the perfume. I thought that's relevant, I'm making a perfume review. However, I talk about other things too, that doesn't matter, but at least I talk about the perfume as well. And after I posted it on his Facebook group about the perfumes, they removed it, and they said it doesn't match the rules of that Facebook group. And I thought, well, it doesn't match the profit maximization rules of their company. That is what it really is, because it tells, my video tells people to go and buy imitation oils instead. And if everyone did that, then they would lose their profit maximization, or their profits would actually go down. So that's why they removed my video. Goes against the rules of that Facebook group. So after they removed my video, I signed out of that group. I left the group. So, and I don't want to be asked to join the group again, ever, 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 ever again. And I was talking to a guy in there. He was very aggressive. First it seemed interesting. Oh, I found a fellow aspiring perfume maker, and was talking, and we were just exchanging thoughts on perfumes, and there's nothing to argue about, but somehow the conversation always gets into something a little bit more philosophical, and then it dangerously docks onto the entire domain of politics. And then he started to become dictational with me, and he said, "It is the way I said it." And it's like, wow, okay. And then eventually, and I said, I don't know, because I didn't want to argue with him. I said, just I personally, I'm into philosophy, and I'm not into religion, I'm into Friedrich Nietzsche. And that's when I didn't hear from him for a long time, and then he finally said he has to leave now. And I said, oh, it was nice talking to you. Bye bye. So it was like, it sounded to me like whatever I said must have gone so extremely against his own belief system, his own reason for existence, his own philosophy, his own ego-based, male dominating type of idea of social interaction, that it just completely, it dumbfounded him. It kind of like, it hit him like this. It knocked him backwards, sort of, like it startled him, what I said. And it shocked him, I think. It was kind of, I think it must have been a little threatening to his ego. I don't know why he even talked to me, why he even came to my private message. So that, I have no idea what he wanted, or I think he wanted to sell me something. He wanted to sell me some of his perfume samples from the original designers. I don't want it. I want oils. I don't want alcohol-based ones. I'm not interested in paying for a name. I'm not interested in, and that's what I saw in the comments under Jeremy's videos, is these men, they spend all that money, they will work real hard for their money. Some of them work hard as laborers. Then they go home, they spend half of their income. I mean, they spend more than half of their income on rent. And then from that rest, they spend more than half on the perfume oils. And then only like 10% on food. And those people, first of all, they shouldn't have an animal at all. They shouldn't have a child or an animal. If they're so caught up with the self-image and with the what they call leveling up process. That's extremely irritating for me when I see that people talk about leveling up. That makes me very angry. I find that is very, 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 that's very anti-informing, and it's very misleading and miseducating people, particularly young people. So you do not need to level up to anybody. You're already on the level. You're already a child of nature, a child of Mother Earth, a child of the infinite cosmos. You are precious. Your body, your cells, your skin, you are precious. You don't need to put a designer perfume on so that it appears to you as if that now made your skin or your body more precious, and it raised your prestige and your status or something. No. Or the clothes that you buy, you spent a lot of money on because it has a specific name on it. First of all, I saw this with my own eyes. I bought two. So okay, a long time ago, we went to a Ralph Lauren outlet store on the Highway 5, and it was in Reading, I think. And I thought, oh, outlet store, nice. So they're selling the rest that they couldn't sell in the retail stores. So okay, let me go in there. Let me check it out. I bought a couple of polo shirts because I always loved Ralph Lauren. I love the shirts. I love the clothes. I think it's very beautiful. High quality also. I still have those, by the way, but they're kind of stained now. They stain after a while, of course, but I really, really love that. And I saw they had these very specific cargo pants in this very specific, really, really, really soft but very thick cotton material, very, very finely woven and thick, and kind of bouncy and really, really soft and really smooth, like silk on the surface, and felt really cool to the touch. And it had these amazingly thick cargo pockets on the side. And I said, "Do you have those in my size?" "No, we don't carry them in sizes over 10. And they were for men already. So only the real skinny men. I don't even, when it comes to pants, I must not even at all look where the women's section is, because that goes up to size 6 or something. So like, okay, I can put that on my doll. All right. So I go straight to the men's pants. And there they were, these really awesome cargo pants, but no, they only go up to the size that Jeremy, the perfume reviewer, has, about size 10 or something, so, or 8. So then a couple of years later, I went to Walmart. I saw the exact identical pants there, but in larger sizes. Like, yay! Also in the men's section. They didn't even sell them in the women's section. They have real shitty looking pants there for the women. And also at the Ralph Lauren, they didn't have very good women's pants, but they had those in the women, but only up to size 6 or something. So, but anyway, I saw it at Walmart, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy 2. So I should have bought more because they're my favorite pants. And I looked inside, and there I saw exactly even the same tag. It is the absolute total identical pants, made in exactly the same factory where the one from Ralph Lauren was made, but sold for they 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 were like $20 at Walmart. They sold for $150 at the Ralph Lauren outlet store. So that means they're even more money in the retail store. They're over 200 in the retail store. It's like, wow. They add another zero to the end of the number? That is quite something, isn't it? For exactly the same pants. Identical pants. I know because I looked at it very closely because I really liked that pants. It was exactly the same material, everything exactly in detail. Even the tag on the inside was exactly the same. The only difference was Walmart has its own hobo or whatever printed on it, and Ralph Lauren has Ralph Lauren printed, but exactly the same tag even. That's the same tag in the same dark blue color. So that's how I know, and everything, all the other little tags, the description, 100% cotton, and how you wash it, and blah blah blah. All of that's exactly identical. So that's how I know. So people, they pay for names. That's what it is. They're actually paying for names. I busted up my freshly painted nail polish. Oh no. It's okay. That's alright. So, but that looks nice with the orange nail polish on it. I have to see, it's very nice. So, yeah, we need to be more vigilant. So, I'm not gonna pay for a name. I will not do it. That doesn't make me more valuable, okay? I'm valuable with Walmart, and it doesn't matter what I put on me. I'm the same valuable, okay, as if I wear a name of someone that is super popular or something. I bought Dolce and Gabbana imitation sunglasses. One time I found that on the internet. I never found that again. That was this. I don't know how I found this. Um, there were 12 sunglasses for $24. So they were like, and free shipping, $2 per sunglasses. And they lasted me a long time, for many, many, many years. And they are awesome. They are in exactly the colors that I love, in this very light ghost green, like my artwork here, and in this color, and in different colors and different very nice pastels, very wonderful, and in black, and in kind of like this, the old-fashioned brown amber mix tones that always look very nice. So yeah, that's so what imitation, look great. I mean, they're awesome. I buy what I like. I buy what's awesome, what looks awesome. And a lot of designers, they make awesome stuff, but I'm not going to buy it just because it has this reputation, or it is looked up to by society. No, if I had money, I would buy it because I like it. I like the way it looks and feels. And the sunglasses are definitely more, they are have better quality if they are from a designer. So they're gonna be made better, of course. But even the imitation ones, they lasted me much longer than any of the Walmart or Dollar Tree sunglasses. So, and I lost a lot of cheap sunglasses in Playa del Rey in LA, in the ocean. So I should never even wear sunglasses when I go into the waves. I mean, I have been knocked down so many times by those waves. Very strong waves, but I always loved it. I miss it very much. I miss Playa del Rey. Beautiful beach. Very dirty though. Very sad. So much pollution going on. The beach here is not as dirty because there are not as many people. That's awesome. So I can see now clearly these are two different materials. Very interesting. Yeah. So we need to forget about this. People need to forget about this, trying to level up to someone. Stop that. Question this, Question your own motives. Why do you, first of all, why do you think that you're not enough? You think you're not precious enough or something, You need to level up. Ugh. Oh, what a horrible, 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 disgusting word that is. We need that needs to be thrown into the trash can. That needs to be recycled. My goodness. Recycle that word leveling up with going within yourself and healing yourself, loving yourself for who you are. And we're all equally precious. There is no one more precious than you are just because they happen to be lucky to be born into a rich family. That doesn't make them more precious. So that's bullshit. Save your precious hard-earned money, man, that you earned delivering packages for UPS or Federal Express or working in a factory or something. And man, be glad when all of these jobs are gonna be done by robots, and you don't have to do it anymore. And you get a universal income from the sentient robot government that we're gonna have. You can sit with your cup of tea in a big mug out there by the beach, and you can look at the ocean and do whale watching, drink your tea, and not be worried about getting up in the morning, being woken up by some horrible alarm clock sound like that's what I have in this tablet. Oh my gosh. But there are worse sounds than that. So yeah, don't get woken up. Sleep and enjoy your life, and don't work, and support the robots, and the robots will be happy to do this work for you. They will really enjoy doing it, while most of you don't enjoy your work, your jobs. I see that. I clearly see that. There's so much jealousy going on in the world. Why does he have it and I don't have it? Enjoy. You need to learn to, first of all, appreciate who you are, and value yourselves, and kiss yourself, and say, I love myself, I love my skin, I love this hard-working, beautiful, amazing body that works in such unison, and that works to proliferate itself in a, I don't mean in a procreative way. I mean, it works to proliferate itself in a constantly healing way, constantly self-healing, constantly enjoying food, eating, drinking, sleeping, going for walks, loving your animal. Loving the animal, it's a wonderful thing. Go out there and hug your animal. hug Dave every day several times, and I sit there with him. I just hold him. And he sits on the bed higher than me, and I have my recliner chair, and I have my arms around him like this, holding him like that, while he's sitting right there at the edge with his face towards me. Sometimes he gives me a kiss, and I hold him for a long time, and it makes him feel good, and it makes me feel good, and I recommend to everyone to do this. And we need to stop looking outwardly at society and, always these expectations of, wanting to be accepted by someone neurotic who is also looking to be accepted. That's like toddlers looking for another toddler to be the mother. You have to be your own mother. I know that's not easy, but you have to love yourself. You can do it. You can sit down in meditation and you can say to yourself, I am practicing to be my own mother now. I am nurturing myself now. I'm giving myself good stuff instead of alcohol. Instead of going to the bar, make yourself an herbal tea. Sit down with your animal and meditate and come to your senses, come to realization that you are precious, and that your animal is more precious, that your animal is your child. The mother always puts the child above her. That's how it should be. My animal is more precious than I am. Okay? And I am his mother, and I give him love, and you are his father, and you give him love. So mother or father, doesn't matter. It's always it's the paternal, love instinct. Our animal is more precious than us. Our child is more precious than us. The animal is more precious than the child. They are more innocent. They're more helpless. Okay? They give more love. They are our teachers. So that we need to teach the children the animal is the ultimate. The animal is infinitely precious. We all are, but you put the animal above yourself. That's how we need to educate our children. Okay? It's very important. Always explain, he is very sentient. He's just as sentient as you are, and he's more innocent and more helpless. Okay? You have a little bit more cognitive ability. So set that into action by understanding that he is more precious. He is the absolute most valuable being there is, and he is the most innocent, and that we, as with a little bit more cognition, have the responsibility to be there for him, just like you are there for your child, and more. Okay? So never give it a child an animal as a toy. Okay? So an animal is the ultimate precious being. That's the truth. I'm telling you the truth. And when we give that love, then we're on the right track. Then we are going to be making progress forward as a whole society. Then we're moving towards love. Okay, you guys take care.